We have a lot to talk about in today's video. Last week in football, Manchester United squeaked past Coventry, and I mean squeaked past Coventry. Liverpool finally got a good result after 4 straight dreadful results. Cole Palmer scored 4 goals in a single match, but that was overshadowed by his teammates acting like petulant schoolchildren. A Mexican goalkeeper was suspended for using laser pointers to disrupt a match. All that and more in today's video. We've got a packed show for today. Stay tuned to the end. We're going to talk about each one of these topics. At this point, it's getting predictable how unpredictable Manchester United will play. Week in, week out, match to match, we don't know which United is going to show up to play on the pitch. Yesterday, United squeaked past Coventry to win the FA Cup semi-final. I mean, they squeaked past. They started the match up 3-0. Shout out to Harry Maguire scoring a goal, the internet's most hated United player. But it looked as if United were just going to win with ease, up 3-0 early on in the game. But in the last 26 minutes or so of the match, Coventry scored 3 goals.
Off. I just don't believe it. I just do not believe it. How's that a penalty and Grealish isn't? How the is that a penalty in an FA Cup semi-final and Grealish isn't? Are you having a laugh? It's like a 2 metre gap. Tell me football's not corrupt. Tell me football's not corrupt.
A late penalty at the very end of stoppage time. Coventry is awarded a penalty and they go to penalty kicks. I mean, United barely make it out. So we have Manchester City and Manchester United in the final of the FA Cup again. That'll be a lot of fun, but I was really hoping to see Coventry actually be playing in the FA Cup final. What a wild result for that club. I mean, they are 8th on the championship table. Wow. To watch an 8th place championship side playing against Manchester City for the FA Cup final would have been awesome. United, get it together, guys. I know I have lots of United fans that I interact with every week, especially in my Discord community. By the way, Discord community is available for channel members and patrons. I've got really big plans for the channel, and so joining my channel memberships or joining my Patreon will help me achieve those goals of like traveling to Europe and making these vlogs and making documentary style films and really doing the videos that I want to do. So if you enjoy hanging out in the Discord, join channel memberships at the $3 tier and you'll be able to access that. Manchester United weren't the only English club who had a tough week this week. In fact, it was a tough week for all English clubs this week. Side note, I am so thankful that I don't have to talk about Tottenham Hotspur in the poor English club performance section of this video. Liverpool eliminated from the Europa League with a loss to Atalanta. And this follows a string of like 4 dreadful results for Liverpool.
It's a disgrace. A disgrace. This is pathetic. How do you concede another one, you absolute idiots? Soboslai, poor.
I mean, you had a draw with Manchester United. You had a loss to Crystal Palace, which gave up ground in the title race in the Premier League. This loss to Atalanta, kicking you out of the Europa League. The silver lining in this for Liverpool is at least now you can focus your energy on trying to win the league. I know you gave up some ground when you lost to Crystal Palace.
Last 6.5 months, the only teams Palace had beaten were Burnley, Brentford and Sheffield United. And they come to Anfield, a title-chasing team, and we didn't really lay a glove on them.
But you can still focus your energy on winning the league, and I've got to say, Liverpool, please win the league for me. I could not bear seeing Arsenal hoist that trophy at the end of the season. But I missed all of my Champions League predictions. I didn't get a single one of them correct. All English clubs eliminated from competitions this last week. Real Madrid beat Manchester City. I live streamed that game. You can check that out somewhere on the channel. Bayern Munich advance after eliminating Arsenal from the Champions League. English clubs are out. And I'm telling you, as a Spurs fan, I needed English clubs to advance. I needed English clubs to win in their respective tournaments, and English clubs did not do me any favors. Liverpool eliminated, Manchester City eliminated, Arsenal eliminated. You're not helping me out here with giving me that 5th Champions League spot. Now, Spurs are going to have to actually play some good football. That's the only way we're going to be able to make this happen. I'm going to try to pronounce this name correctly, but I believe it is Nahuel Guzman, was suspended for 11 games, sanctioned after pointing a laser pointer in the eyes of the Monterrey goalkeeper. This happened in Liga MX. The Mexican Football Federation is not having it. They're not gonna have laser pointers being used to disrupt matches. But a video of his actions surfaced on the internet, and when the world saw what he was doing, the Mexican Federation said, we're not having that 11-game ban, and he is not welcome back on the pitch for another 11 games. Now, using laser pointers to disrupt a match is one story, but perhaps the greatest story I've seen in football since I've been a fan is the story of the team who never scores. And I'm not kidding, the team who never scores. Victoria Pilsen in the Europa Conference League. They had a very easy group stage, a cupcake schedule, one might say. They won every single game in their group stage match, scoring 18 points in the group stages, which jumped them straight ahead into the knockout rounds. They won all 6 group stage matches, and these were like 1-goal differential kind of games. In fact, in that group stage, they only conceded 1 goal. But they go into the knockout round, and they advance to the quarterfinals, having scored exactly 0 goals. Yeah, I'm not kidding. 0 goals. They go 0 goals in the first leg, 0 goals in the second leg. Extra time, 120 minutes played without a goal scored. And they advance on penalty kicks. They win a penalty kick shootout and advance to the quarterfinals, where they face Fiorentina. You might expect that Victoria Pilsen, having been exposed as a team that can't score goals, that they would most likely be decimated by Fiorentina. Not so. In the first leg, guess what happens? 0 goals. 0 goals scored in the first leg of the match between Fiorentina and Victoria Pilsen. Well, then comes the second leg. And guess what happens in the second leg? Almost the same result. So here, let's look at this game here. The second leg of this match, Victoria Pilsen held Fiorentina to 0 goals scored up until the 92nd minute. That's right. It took extra time. They played another 90 minutes without a goal scored. Think about that. They had... Is that not crazy to you? 120 minutes in one match with a penalty kick shootout, with no goals scored in that game, and they advance. And then they play another 90 without a goal scored. And then they play another 90 without a goal scored and extra time. But let's look here in the game. Fiorentina has 42 shot attempts, 10 shots on target, 73% possession. They made 900 passes with an 88% pass accuracy. Victoria Pilsen, on the other hand, 2 shots, 0 shots on target. And yet, they kept Fiorentina scoreless until extra time. Before we get to Cole Palmer's 4 goals scored in one match, which was an exceptional performance, one of the most brilliant performances that we've seen by an individual player this season, we have to think about one of the worst performances by a player we've seen this season. I mean, look at this absolute joke of a penalty kick. I don't even have much commentary for that. That's the worst penalty kick I've ever seen attempted. It's hilarious. Go ahead and take a good laugh at it. Sorry for that guy. I know it's a high pressure situation. I don't have any animosity towards you, sir, but that was a bad penalty. Now let's get to Cole Palmer. 4 goals scored in a match against Everton. Now, I'm not going to make a joke because it was against Everton, although it was against Everton. But 4 goals scored in a 6-goal performance by Chelsea. Cole Palmer has been exceptional this season. Now, I must admit, as I do a little Googling right now, I didn't know much about Cole Palmer. In fact, I didn't know much about him until this match. I haven't really been following Chelsea, and those of you who watch my channel, you know that. I don't really follow Chelsea that much. But so far in 23-24, Cole Palmer has played in 27 matches and he's scored 20 goals with 9 assists. He's had an exceptional season with Chelsea. In fact, he's probably the lone bright spot for Chelsea because his 4-goal performance, while absolutely as incredible as it is overshadowed by the actions of his teammates who fought over the chance to take a penalty kick. Now, the truth is, Cole Palmer is the penalty taker for Chelsea. But yet we see his teammates fight over the ball. I mean, literally fighting over the ball like little children. No, I want to take it. No, I want to take it. No, I'm going to taking the ball from each other. In fact, it took veteran leadership showing up to rip them apart from each other from fighting in the middle of a game that you are up 4-0. They win this game 6-0. Why are you fighting over who takes the penalty? What's going on, Chelsea? Somebody who's a fan of this club, please let me know what's happening inside your locker room because I can't understand it from the outside. Seems pretty dysfunctional to me, and I'm a Spurs fan.